Okay, so I read this book and it's called The 7 Day Switch. What's funny about the book is the author is trying so hard to make us believe that the home stay at home mom has a horrible life. Because there is a scene in the book where the mom has to go to a gala, some type of ball event, and she has to put on a pretty dress and walk around with her husband. And people were asking her, like, what do you do all day? And the woman's like, oh, I'm a stay at home mom. And after that, nobody cares about her because everyone gets their value and their identity from work in our society. And instead of like questioning that, the book just is like, oh, this woman has it so rough. When her kids get old, they may think that she's just not a hard worker and she does nothing all day. And I'm like, the woman does a lot of things. Even, well, she doesn't really have to do a lot of things, but she does a lot, as in she cooks a lot. She knows how to sew clothes. Sometimes she does just sit out on her porch because she wants to make friends and she wants people to see in her neighborhood that, like, hey, I'm available. I'm sitting on my porch doing nothing. And no one stops to even try to talk to her, even though she wants someone to. And they kind of just put this loneliness in. They put in the fact she has a 3-year-old daughter, 4-year-old, and she's still nursing and breastfeeding. And it's again 7 day switch, so the mom switches bodies with this hardworking mother who doesn't breastfeed her children. And the mom is like, oh, my titties are so saggy and they get sore because the baby wants milk. And it's like, girl, it's not a bad life at all, like breastfeeding your child. Like, a lot of women think that you shouldn't breastfeed for some reason, but you can breastfeed them till they're like 6 years old. There's nothing wrong with that. And there was like shaming about that, and then there was also nothing going on in the business woman's life, like no business meetings, no business calls. It was mainly just about taking the child to soccer practice. The book was not that well written, and then the business mom had like a crappy husband. And then she leaves the husband only because she found out he was cheating on her. The man had no money, he doesn't clean the house, he doesn't even be present at home in the children's lives. But it's okay. But now he's cheating on me, so I have to leave him for a handsome British man who's like probably Puerto Rican and British, or Italian and British, something like that. And it's just like, okay. And then they made this joke about like driving, and the guy says, well, I'm brown behind the wheel, so it'll always be hard for me driving a car. And I'm just like, thank you for bringing race and racism into the book and then like never expanding on it. They brought sexism into the book because a son saw his friend was being bullied. So he's like, okay, don't bully my friend because I'll fight you and you can't fight me because you a pussy. And then the mom makes him write, I am not a misogynist 50 times. And I'm just like, that is stupid. Punishment, like, it's going way too far. Um, Overall, yes, it is easy being a stay at home mom. Even though the book is trying to make it seem like women have issues staying at home and like not making money, like, that's so horrible. And then she tries to make the businesswoman look so great, even though she has a horrible personality. She doesn't believe in taking care of children. All she does is just say, watch TV, watch YouTube, and eat from McDonald's and eat lunch at school. I'll pay for it. I'm not going to cook anything for you. I'm good. Like, it was just funny. And then they made this little blurb about, I want to be proud taking my kids to McDonald's. And maybe I'll have my kids eat inside of McDonald's together. And we'll just be happy eating McDonald's. And I'm like, it's unhealthy food. There's nothing proud about this. And then also, all of their lives are very privileged because they're very rich and they have a house that's way too big for them anyway. And I'm just like, you don't have to live in this fancy neighborhood. Like, who cares? They talk about saving money, but it's like you could save money by just having one child and focusing on them. Like, you don't have to have three. And then they did the scene where the woman cried because he has 2 children and not 3 children. And then they called it like hormones. But I'm like, why is that hormones? Like, why do you have to have this urge that's so strong to have like a family of 8 children or a family of 5 children? Like, really? Still don't understand the intense need to be a mother to a human child. Like, I just don't get that. So, anyway, other than the fact that it could be a biology thing, like, you could still transmute that energy and put it into something else. Like, okay. But yeah, overall, the book, it should have had a better conversation about like how people's worth is attached to like the money they make, but it didn't do that. It missed the mark, and it didn't have much of a storyline other than let's follow these rich white women's lives for like 5 days, and they don't do much of anything. They don't even check business emails, and I'm like, how can you have $1 million business that makes all the money and you're so blah? And then one woman, she prioritizes, the businesswoman prioritizes her body a lot and like going to Zumba classes or whatever. No, reformer Pilates, which I worked at a reformer Pilates studio and it was horrible. And I'm just like, reformer Pilates is not worth the money. It is not worth that $300, $100 a month. I am so tired of this fitness kick that people get, like, from stressing out their bodies too much and pretending that they're fit and skinny because they can lift 50 pounds. Like, when are you going to need that skill? What war are you training for? Are you just trying to look cute? Like, okay. These societal expectations of beauty are just so useless, because it's like the minutes that you could spend exercising could also be minutes spent with your 2 kids. Like, looking good is not that great. And you can always make time for exercise. You don't have to be so extreme and go out and pay like $100 a month for a membership, or even $60 a month for a membership. Like, just stop. There's a lot of people on Instagram, I'm pretty sure, who like make videos about staying home and working out because it's cheaper. Even getting an app is cheaper. Like, y'all want to talk about saving money in this book and having to make money for your kids, and you just wasting your money. And they have a lot of time and a lot of like knowledge to do better, and they just don't. One woman, the business mom, instead of looking up recipes and cheat meals for her kids, she looks up why it's better to work than it is to be a stay-at-home mom and be with your children. Like, okay. Thank you for the propaganda, because I'm not with that brainwashing, but okay. Yeah, I didn't really enjoy the book. But I don't enjoy most books because the messages in them are not that great.